Okay, Josh, so here is your still life. Here, I guess this is, I'm guessing that this is your vocational shot, and then this is your uh, environmental still life. However, you can see that there's not a significant difference between these, except for here, you know, she's engaged in something, and here she's engaged in looking at the camera. So these two shots really have the same sort of narrative value here, because, you know, yeah, we see that she's at a desk and that she works at a desk, and here we see that she's at a desk and that she works in a desk. So I guess, you know, that like I would argue that one of these, just one of these, would have been your shot for the portrait, and then you would have needed something else, like maybe even just her interacting with a coworker somewhere else in the building, or I don't know, something, because these as far as the photo story goes, these two aren't really, they're really no, they don't, their value is the same. And then here's the long shot. And then you said that you chose not to use your lighting kit, and I realize how difficult it can be to use your lights in a tiny space, but you have to learn how to do it, and I want to tell you that's a mistake, because here the light isn't doing anything to tell your story, and that is a small space, but you could have even just used, you know, some bounces or reflectors or something to add a little bit to the situation, because in these images, you know, the light in a still life, the light is flat, you know, it's not very interesting. It's flat here, it's not very interesting. You know, it's the light doesn't do anything to add visual emphasis to our key subjects, you know, to this woman, or, you know, to the still life. The light isn't doing anything. This is a lighting class. It's not, and your light isn't being controlled or manipulated or modified or harnessed as a communicative tool at all in any of these images. And then there's the long shot. Yeah. This story, you know, looking at the story, the photo story, we should be able to go through it, and we should have a sense of what's going on here. And so here's what I get. This is a company that sells some sort of supplement, you know, something that you eat that's supposed to do something for your health, and this is it. This is a salesperson, and then this is where the stuff is shipped out of. So I mean, I guess the story is told. However, it's told in such a way where we're not, you know, we the viewers aren't really drawn into it. You know, it's not doing anything to, there's nothing here that is adding narrative interest or drama or anything to this story, you know, and we would have wanted that through light or through more dynamic composition, and it's just not happening here. And then the long shot, you know, I wondered, because there's nothing here for me to tell, because we just have shots inside her office and then outside, but I wondered if, you know, you were able to inspect more of this building and to give us a long shot of the building, because this outside of the building, you know, it doesn't say much, but I don't know, maybe that's your narrative attempt, is that the whole thing is really generic. Is that the story? Is this person and this job is really generic? And I don't know. That's the feeling I get from it, is because the lighting isn't harnessed as a communicative tool, you know, and the images don't really go together in regard to lighting, that it's just, the whole thing feels pretty generic, really. Yeah. That's it. Our hope here with this assignment is always that students will challenge themselves and take their lighting kit with them, no matter what they think will happen. They at least take it with them and try to use it, even if it bumbles up horribly. Because here in this case, you know, there's nothing is really getting across to us about the story. All we know are some basic facts, like this is what's being sold, this is the person selling them, and they get sold out of here. But that's not a story, you know. That's not really a story. So that would be my feedback here. I think that a lot more effort and pains could have been made and taken to try to give us a narrative, give us a drama, draw us in. You know, do something other than the bare minimum of what was required. That, and you're missing a like I said, either a portrait or a vocational shot. I mean, these are effectively both, like I said, they have the same narrative weight. They both kind of feel like vocational shots to me, or portraits, like one or the other, but there's just not a significant difference between the two. I hope that makes sense. And it just seems like you would have needed to spend more time with this person, following them around, to get a wider variety of shots, because there's basically only 3 types of shots here. You know, we've got the shots outside, the shots in her office with different millimeter length lenses, you know, that they're not, otherwise they're not terribly different. and then the still lifes. There's just not that much there. There's just not that much there. Okay, that's it. So next week, for your assignment next week, really blow us away with, like, use lighting to do something really interesting and tell us a story on your subject, on your senior portrait shoot. So just really, really try to use your lights in a way that is creative and adds something to the story, something to the image that isn't already present, Okay, thanks.